Coming up on First at 4, a homeowner in one southern Kentucky county catches a man trying to break into his garage. We'll tell you what happened. And Democratic lawmakers from the heartland are hoping to make a splash. More on how they plan on getting their legislative priorities to the front of the line coming up.
Plus, rain pushing out now, but a few more showers look to change to snow showers later tonight. Latest timing from Future View ahead as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Some heavy rain moved through early this morning, and we could wake up to some snow tomorrow morning. Meteorologist Evan Hatter has more on what to expect on this first alert weather day. Evan.
Well, that's right, Steve. It is a possibility as we watch rain change to snow a little bit later on tonight. We're getting kind of the wraparound moisture through this afternoon that's already sparked a few rain showers out there. But as temperatures drop, and they already are in our western counties, we'll definitely see the potential for that to switch to some more frozen precipitation overnight. Look outside in just a moment. You'll see that we are dealing with quite a wind advisory in place throughout the region. That continues as we head until 7 o'clock tonight for most of us. Even in the counties not under it, go ahead and assume that you are, just because it's very breezy out there. We've seen gusts. These are current wind gusts, 31 miles per hour in Jackson, 33 in London. Not quite advisory criteria, but we've been there at times today. Lexington has gusted as high as 55 earlier today, and Jacksboro gusted to 47 a little bit earlier. You can see those winds are bringing in the colder air. Many of us in the Big Sandy close to 60, mid-50s in the central portion of the region, the Cumberland Valley in the mid-40s, and you see even lower 40s as you head over toward Louisville at this hour. So the cold air continues to scoot on in, and as it does, we'll see those rain showers in our western counties switch to snow as we head a little bit later on tonight. Details on when we see that switch over occur in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. A southern Kentucky homeowner caught a man he says was breaking into his garage. The homeowner had just installed a deer camera because of similar crimes. The suspect says he was only looking for a place to sleep. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what police and the suspect are saying.
Well, this happened Sunday evening just after 8 o'clock. We are told that a man was tired of people breaking into his property, so he installed a deer camera. And we're told that it didn't take long for him to catch someone on his property. The property owner called for help and he says he found someone in his garage. Corbin police arrived at first, then a deputy sheriff from Whitley County. The homeowner told police he'd been burglarized so many times over the past month that he installed a trail camera. He said that trail camera alerted him something was up, and that's when he says he found the man in his garage. Austin Epley says from jail that he was not there to steal anything.
From my understanding, there was actually two people, and he reported that he had the subject at gunpoint.
I'm homeless, and I went inside and laid down to go to sleep, and because it's cold, and I didn't know, I thought it was abandoned.
Austin Epley remains in the Whitley County Detention Center facing a third-degree burglary charge. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The property owner asked us not to identify them because the second person has not been located yet. Yesterday, the ACLU of Kentucky met to discuss legislative priorities for the 2023 General Assembly. Some of the topics the ACLU is prioritizing include reproductive rights, LGBTQ equality, racial justice, and voting rights. One of the topics they focused on was reproductive rights. The ACLU of Kentucky's advocacy director says Kentucky has some of the worst pregnancy and birth outcomes in the country.
And we need to ensure that every pregnant person in Kentucky is able to survive not only being pregnant, but the process of birthing a human and the time after that.
They also say Kentucky lawmakers from both sides have advanced legislation to support families and parents. The ACLU also plans to prioritize the Crown Act and Clean Slate legislation. It is National School Choice Week, and students, parents, and educators came together to support the school choice policy here in Kentucky. Supporters of the movement met at the back steps of the Kentucky Capitol yesterday morning. National School Choice Week is meant to inform, inspire, and empower parents to look for K-12 schools available for their kids. Throughout the week, events and activities will take place that are meant to shine a light on education options in their communities. One professor at Western Kentucky University spoke at the event.
Now, many of my good friends in the education establishment are afraid to give families these kinds of options because they will worry that it will hurt public schools. But that simply has not been the case in states that have embraced educational choice.
One of the speakers at the event also says that students with learning differences have fewer schools to choose from in Kentucky. The Midwest is front and center on a map, and today the region's priorities are front and center in Washington. WYMT Washington Bureau reporter Molly Martinez has the details on the new caucus that has big plans.
It's already America's breadbasket, but lawmakers from the heartland are hoping to make their region the next frontier for innovation.
All roads to majorities and to the White House go through the heartland of America.
Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell is corralling a caucus of Midwest Democrats to shine a spotlight on all Middle America has to offer.
The Midwest and the heartland is full of opportunity for investment, development, and innovation.
Part of that investment comes from the nearly $280 billion allocated in the CHIPS Act. $20 billion is being funneled to Representative Amelia Sykes' home state of Ohio, where Intel is constructing new microchip manufacturing facilities. Representative Eric Sorensen of Illinois touted his district for being home to John Deere tractors and being a leader in agriculture. It's an important voice with legislation like the Farm Bill in the pipeline.
We represent industry, manufacturing, new ideas that move us forward.
Dingell's hope for the caucus is to give a louder voice to states that often get overshadowed by the coasts, and of course, to do it with heart.
We must ensure that as we're creating policy here in Washington, we are prioritizing the views, the values, and issues of these communities at home.
A lot of states in the heartland lean red, but there was a very obvious lack of Republican members in this new caucus. Debbie Dingell says she hopes that they can work across the aisle to meet their common goals. At the Capitol, I'm Molly Martinez.
Coming up on First at 4, with rent prices sky high across the country, the Biden administration announces a fair housing plan. We'll tell you what that means for renters.
And watching that potential wintry mess on the way a little bit later on tonight, the breakdown after this.